guys, Chris here. So today we're going to talk about odd time signatures. Odd time signatures are kind of fun to play, but they're a little difficult to get a grasp on. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at 3 different odd time signatures, things that are not 4/4 times, things you wouldn't necessarily hear on the radio, and we are going to try to make them as close to a common time signature as possible. That way they're going to be easier to play. So the first thing we're going to look at is 5/4 time. 5/4 time is defined as 5 quarter notes per measure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play something, and I'll play it real slow, and I'm going to count it. We count 5/4 time just like common time, just like 4/4 time. So our first example is going to go like this. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. Notice I'm just counting to 5, but I'm doing eighth notes exactly the same way. So one more time, it's going to sound like this. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is 7/8 time. 7/8 is a little bit different. Anytime we have an 8 in the bottom part of our fraction, we want to think about that like somewhere in there there's going to be dotted notes. Think about 6/8 time. We've done lots of that, where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it kind of sways back and forth based on those 2 dotted quarter notes. So 7/8 time is going to be much the same way. We're just going to have an extra eighth note at the end of it. So it'll sound like this. Again, I'll count it. I'll go real slow. We're going to count every eighth note as a whole number. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. The whole time we're just trying to make it sound as close to 6/8 as we can. So all together, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, like so. All right, the last one we're going to look at is a little weird. It's 7/4 time. So 7/4 time, we're going to count just like common time. Eighth notes are going to be 1 and 2 and. And the only difference is we're going to have 7 beats in a measure instead of 4. So if I count this real slow, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7. So all together, it'll sound like this. Like so. So there's our warm-ups for this week. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to orchestrate these on the bass, the snare, and the hi-hats. We're going to add some dynamics. We're going to add a couple of extra notes. And we're going to come up with a groove based on that time signature. Again, we're trying to get as close to common time as we can so that it feels comfortable when we play it. The first one we're going to do is 5/4 time. So before we look at what's on the sheet, and hopefully you all went to the website and printed out the PDF, I'm going to strip it out a little bit. I'm just going to play eighth notes on the hi-hats to start, and I'm not going to play the open hi-hats. So if we take those 2 aspects out, our first example will sound like this. And again, we can count it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and again, just the drums. Okay, if we add those extra hi-hats that you'll see on the PDF back into this beat, it'll sound like this. And now adding that one open hi-hat, it's going to be at the very end of the measure. Like so. And that's going to be our 5/4 beat. Next, we're going to go to our 7/8 beat. Our 7/8 beat should have the same sort of sway back and forth as 6/8 would. but we're adding that extra beat at the end. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So adding some bass drums and a couple of ghost noted snares, we get closer to our groove that we're aiming to play. And now if I add that open hi-hat to emphasize the downbeat, it's going to go. And you can see how it's still going to sway back and forth a little bit, just like 6/8 would. Again, we're trying to stick to the original feel of a common time signature like 6/8. It's fairly common, but add that extra note at the end to give it a little flair. Our last groove for today is in 7/4 time. Some of you may recognize this from lessons. Some of the advanced students study this. It's actually a Tool song, but this is a great example of taking an odd time signature and trying to make it feel normal. So when we play this, I'm going to do it without any of the open hi-hats, and I'm going to go really slow to start. So it's going to go like this. Again, I'm counting to 7 in my head. Maybe I'm saying 1 and 2 and 3 and as I play this. Counting out loud is great too. It's really going to help. Here we go. Adding some open hi-hats to this is going to emphasize some of the 7/4 nature of it. It's going to make it sound a little bit more different. It's not quite going to be as evenly subdivided as 4/4 would be. So it should sound like this. Again, nice and slow. And finally, a little bit faster so you can hear the phrase come together. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video lesson. If you have any questions, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I'll be adding more in the coming days. Keep practicing. Stay healthy. Thanks.